Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then welcome. I'm Tanya and I love to read more of romantasy and dark romance. However, I do enjoy the occasional thriller too. This year I've been branching out into reading different genres and I've been loving it. If you want to see me yap about books, then please hit that subscribe button and like this video. And yeah. So today's video is going to be about my March TBR. I want to put a disclaimer here and tell you guys that Jan and Feb have not gone exactly the way that I had envisioned in terms of reading the books that I wanted to. I have currently read about 14 or 15 books. However, if I want to meet my goal of 100 books this year, I obviously have to up my reading pace. Also, the books that the TBR Jar has chosen for me, I have not been able to complete all of those. I have been reading more according to my mood, so which is okay. I just wanted to come on here and say that. Also, it's not like a fixed thing that I have to read 100 books this year. It's just a little challenge that I wanted to set for myself because I do have a habit of procrastinating and just whiling away time doom scrolling on Instagram. So I thought this was a great way to sort of not do that and instead dedicate my time towards reading books, which I actually want to do. So yeah, having said that, I want to say that there are a couple of books left over from the month of Jan and the month of February on my TBR. I will probably be interspersing them here and there whenever I do find the time. I had initially thought I wouldn't do like a TBR Jar video for March because so that I could catch up on my previous TBR. However, I don't know, I just find these videos so much fun that I'm like, I can't not film a video like this. It also, you know, keeps everything very exciting for me and it helps me get through books that I want to read. So we're not completely scrapping this idea. We will continue to pick books from the TBR Jar and I'm going to try and catch up on my Jan and Feb TBR also along the way. Again, as I said, there's no hard and fast rule. Reading is more about enjoying and I'm going to be doing exactly that. As long as I'm reading books and having fun, I think that's all that matters. So yes, without further ado, let's get started with this video and let's start picking prompts through which we can choose our March reads. Time to pick the first prompt for this video and I am very excited to see what we get. Okay, then just store the prompt. Okay, so our first prompt of this video is a hardcover. Okay, that's not too bad. I think we do have a lot of hardcovers on my shelf. It's just a matter of selecting something which I'm also in the mood to read and which is also on my TBR, and let's just see what all I have. So I do have the Shadow and Bone trilogy, the first book in that's just called Shadow and Bone, which I have been meaning to read. I know it's part of like the Grishaverse universe, so I don't know exactly if this is the first book I should be starting with. Okay, so here it is. This is a collector's edition of the Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Again, I have not read this author, I've not read this series, I've not read this universe, but I've heard so many good things about this that I have to start this. And I mean, it looks like a good book. I have no idea what it's about. Let me quickly see whether this is the first book that I should be starting with. Because it says the best way to read Grishaverse books is in the publication order to avoid spoilers and follow the world building, starting with the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Perfect. So we have book 1 for that, followed by the Six of Crows duology and ending with the King of Scars duology. We also have some optional companion books. The Language of Thorns can be read anytime. The Lives of Saints, best after Shadow and Bone or Six of Crows. Demon in the Wood graphic novel can be read anytime. So it says Six of Crows takes place 2 years after the trilogy and the King of Scars occurs 1 year after Crooked Kingdom, featuring characters from both previous series. So it makes sense to start with Shadow and Bone, which is great because this is the only book that I have from this series. Honestly, I bought this like 2 years ago on my birthday because I loved the cover of this. It is gorgeous. Please see. It's got sprayed edges and I hate this little sticker though, which I'm gonna try and take out later. I don't want to spoil the book. But yes, please look at the inside of the book. Isn't it gorgeous? Even the back is like this. I don't even know what this is supposed to signify, but I am very excited. Okay, we have a little cute reindeer also at the back. Again, I don't know what it's supposed to signify since I haven't read it, and I know nothing about the series actually. Stag illustration. Okay, it's a stag, not a reindeer. Stag illustration by Zoe Keller. Leigh Bardugo is a #1 New York Times bestselling author of fantasy novels and the creator of the Grishaverse, which spans the Shadow and Bone trilogy, the Six of Crows duology, and the Language of Thorns and the King of Scars duology. Her short stories can be found in multiple anthologies, including the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy. Her other works include Wonder Woman, Warbringer, and Ninth House. Leigh was born in Jerusalem, grew up in Southern California, and graduated from Yale University. These days, she lives and writes in Los Angeles. Soldier, Summoner, Saint. Orphaned and expendable, Alina Starkov is a soldier who knows that she may not survive her first trek across the Shadowfold, a swath of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. But when her regiment is attacked, Alina unleashes dormant magic not even she knew she possessed. Now Alina will enter a lavish world of royalty and intrigue as she trains with the Grisha, her country's magical military elite, and falls under the spell of their notorious leader, the Darkling. He believes Alina can summon a force capable of destroying the Shadowfold and reuniting their war-ravaged country, but only if she can master her untamed gift. As the threat to the kingdom mounts and Alina unlocks the secrets of her past, she will make a dangerous discovery that could threaten all she loves in the very future of a nation. Welcome to Ravka, a world of science and superstition where nothing is what it seems. Okay, sounds pretty interesting. Again, not much that I could discern from this blurb. This is one option for the first prompt. Let me quickly see if I have any other. I do see some hardcovers staring right smack into my face, but I'm a little intimidated to pick them up. What to do, what to do, what to do. I see the book and I just have to take it out. Come on. This is another book that I bought this year, I think earlier on in the year. And I think I've showed it in one of my hauls also, and it's called Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. I think this is another one which is based on Harry Potter fanfic, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this is also a gorgeous edition. Let me take off the jacket and show you. Okay, so this is the dust jacket. It looks so pretty. The inside has the blurb and a little bit about the author. And this is what the book looks like. It's got like gold detailing on it. And the title is written over here. And I love the artwork. The artwork is just gorgeous. Like, the artwork is stunning. And the sprayed edges, of course. I really want to read this one too, and it's not that bad. It's like 450 pages again, which is not too bad. I mean, I think after reading Alchemized, anything sounds great in terms of the length. Okay, so let me quickly read the blurb. I think I've read it before, but again, I don't remember anything, so I'm just going to quickly read it. The war is over and the dark forces have won, and the hero who was supposed to save them is dead. Pretty much how any Harry Potter fanfic starts. After watching her brother die and her kingdom fall, Princess Bryony Rosewood is captured by the enemy, stripped of her magic and auctioned off to the highest bidder. She's sold to Tobin-Hurst, a scion of the powerful and devious Hurst family, and her secret infatuation. But Bryony can't submit to her feelings. A secret rebellion is brewing and she must escape to join it. Yet despite the horrors of her new world, help and hope can arise in the most unlikely of places. Internationally best-selling author Julie Soto crafts a delicious romantic fantasy that's filled with intrigue, magic, and an irresistible enemies to lovers romance. Cute! I am tempted to read this one also. Okay, since this is like a standalone, right? Okay, this is not a standalone, it's a trilogy, and I think book 2 is releasing next year. So we have time. So I think rather than picking up, I don't know how my mind is working, but rather than picking up something that is already published, I would want to pick this up. Firstly, because I think my mood right now is more into the whole Harry Potter fanfic world. Secondly, I feel like if I pick up Sharon Bone, that's another series I have to get through, and currently I'm already in the middle of too many series, so I feel like I don't want to get mixed up. There's too much information being like dumped into my head, so I feel like if I pick this up, I will have a long time before the book 2 comes out, so I will have time to sort of process that information in my head, because that is very important for me. I like sit with the book after it's done, and I really need to think in my head and process what the hell just happened in the books. I think I'll go with this one. Yeah. So okay, so this is our pick for the first book. The first prompt we got was a hardcover, and for that we have picked Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. Yay! Now, moving on to the second prompt. So the second prompt that we picked from the TBR jar is a book with your favorite trope. A book with my favorite trope. That's gonna be hard because I don't think I can narrow down to a favorite trope. I mean, I love a good enemies to lovers. I love like fake dating. I love these days actually I have been loving a good second chance romance, which I had sworn that I never read before, but weirdly I have been enjoying that trope quite a bit. So I don't know, I'm gonna go with this trope. I'm not gonna go with like a usual enemies to lovers, fake dating. I'm gonna go with something which is more like a sub-genre than a trope. It's also a trope, I guess, and it's mafia romance, and I have not picked up a mafia romance in so long, and I think my mind is really craving one, so I think I'm gonna go with that. And for the mafia romance, I think back in November I read this book by TJ Maguire called Bratva Bride, and I loved it, and I have been dying to pick up the rest of the series. I think there are like 5 books in total, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Bratva series by TJ Maguire has 5 books, as I said, and I think I'm going to pick up number 2 in this series. So Bratva Bride is the first book by TJ Maguire, and I loved it so much. This was amazing. Okay, sorry, my camera died. So as I was saying, I'm going to be picking up book number 2 of the Bratva series by TJ Maguire for this prompt. Since I think mafia romance is one of my favorite subgenres or tropes that I like to read. And yeah, I'm just gonna go over the book description once. A heart-dominating Bratva prince, a fearless crazy cartel princess, Alexander Volkov. I think book 1 was about his sister Ilyana, and the main protagonist was Arturo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this is about Alexander, the brother. I've lived my life with rigid control, a tight vice on myself and my emotions. Scars from my past have left me broken, riddled with guilt and anguish. When my baby sister was kidnapped, I feared the worst, that she suffered the same fate as our mother. It stirred up those feelings I've tried so desperately to bury and ignore. I never expected to find her. Drea Ortega, a 5-feet tattooed killing machine who took my breath away for the first moment I laid eyes on her. She was my beacon of light in my dark, chaotic world, my heart, my soul, my everything. Drea Ortega, I loved my life in the cartel. It was brutal and violent, rough and bloody, all things I thoroughly enjoyed. I liked the way it challenged me, forced me to think on my feet and adapt. Getting kidnapped happened sometimes in my line of work. It was nothing to cry over, nothing to freak out about. You rolled up your sleeves and dealt with it as best as you could. The Bratva were the stuff of nightmares. Rumors of their brutality and viciousness circled far and wide in the organized crime world. My dad told me to steer clear of them, and now I was stuck in the lion's den. I never expected to find him, Alexander Volkov, tall, dark, sexy. He was hotter than any man had the right to be. Over 6.5 feet of pure muscle and sin with a secret heart of gold. He forced his way into my life, and now I wasn't sure I could live without him. Bratva Prince is not a standalone. It is the second book in the Bratva series. This series is an interconnected series, although each book centers around a different couple. The overall storyline flows throughout the entire series. This means that some questions may be left unanswered at the end of a book, but will be addressed in the book that follows. The series is not for the faint of heart. The themes in this book could be considered dark romance. Love that. So that is what I'm going to be picking for the prompt, a book with your favorite trope, and it's Bratva Prince by TJ Maguire. I am very excited for this book. I have been wanting to pick this up for so long, and I'm finally happy that I will be continuing the story. yeah, and I'm really glad that all these books I think are available on Kindle Unlimited. So since, as you can see, I have no place on my shelf currently to fit in any more new books, I will be reading these on my Kindle, and I'm gonna try my best not to buy a physical copy, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, that was very quick. That was very, very quick. The second prompt took no time at all, which is great. We love quick things currently. So if you have no time, and we have filmed like some 3 videos today. Okay, so time for our third pick for this video. And I hope it's a good one. Okay, so the third prompt for the March TBR Jar video is a Goodreads Choice Award winner. I don't know how I feel about this because I don't feel like I'm really in the mood to read those kind of books right now, but we'll see. Okay, Goodreads Choice Awards. Let's check out the 2025 list. Thankfully, we have genres here. So we can pick between fiction, historical fiction, mystery and thriller, romance, romantasy, fantasy. Show 9 more categories. Okay, science fiction, horror, debut novel, audiobook, young adult, fantasy, sci-fi, young adult fiction, non-fiction, memoir, history and biography. Okay, so the fiction winner was Friedrich Bachmann, My Friends. I've already read that one this year. Next category is historical fiction. We have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Okay, I do have that book with me somewhere here. The first ever Taylor Jenkins Reid that I picked up was Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I think that was the first book that I picked up this year, and I loved it. And I have been meaning to read more of this author, but I just don't know whether I'm in the mood for something like this. Let me read the back, then I'll tell you. In the summer of 1980, an astrophysics professor, Joan Goodwin, begins training to be an astronaut at Houston's Johnson Space Center, alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates. Top Gun pilot Hank Redmond, mission specialist John Griffin and Lydia Danes, warm-hearted Donna Fitzgerald and Vanessa Ford, magnetic and mysterious aeronautical engineer. As the new astronauts prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a passion and love she never imagined and begins to question everything she believes about her place in the observable universe. Then, in December of 1984, on mission STS-LR9, everything changes in an instant. Atmosphere is Taylor Jenkins Reid at her best, transporting readers to iconic times and places, creating complex protagonists and telling a passionate and soaring story about the transformative power of love, this time among the stars. I'm gonna put this on the side for now, and I'm gonna see if we have any other options. Goodreads Choice winner. Thriller, Not Quite Dead Yet. I do actually have that book too, but I'm really not in the mood for the thriller right now. I think me and thriller are just not getting along at the moment. Last month, I couldn't even get through last month's book club pick. That was Nobody Wants This by Lisa Jewell. I'm not saying it's a bad book, but for some reason, it took me like 5 days to get through 10 pages. I could not get myself to sit down and read that book. So I have soft DNF'd it at the moment, and I'm going to come back to it when I feel like I'm in the mood to read a good thriller. And I'm telling you that moment is not now. Okay, romance, Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life one. Interesting, because I heard quite a lot of mixed reviews on this one. Okay, Romantasy I'm very excited for. Onyx Storm, of course, Onyx Storm one. Interesting. I didn't know Onyx Storm one. Okay, we've already read that, so obviously we're gonna skip this genre as well. We have fantasy next. And our next pick is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I do have that book also. This was supposed to be read by me last year, and I never got around to it. I don't know why. But apparently I've heard this is supposed to be like those gothic sort of fantasy books, and that's literally like what I love to read, so I don't know why I don't want to pick this up. But there's something about it that whenever I try to pick this up, I don't know, I always like my mind always deflects from this book and finds something else to read. I don't know why that is happening. Let me read the back again, maybe I'll get interested. 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories dangling like roots. This is a story about hunger. 1530 Santo Domenico de some address. A young girl grows up wild and willy, and Maria knows she can only ever be a pawn in men's games. When an alluring stranger offers an alternate path, Maria makes a desperate choice. A young woman... This is a story about love in London in 1827. A young woman lives a cloistered life on her family's estate until a moment of forbidden intimacy sees her shipped off to London. Once there, a beautiful widow offers her freedom, but at what cost? The third one is a story about rage in 2019 Boston. College was supposed to be a fresh start. That's why Alice moved halfway across the world. Then an out of character one night stand leaves her questioning everything. Alice throws herself into the hunt for answers and revenge. See, I feel like this doesn't give me much. I didn't know I had the signed edition of this book. I mean, it is a sticker, so I don't know if this really counts. But yes, I mean, I guess it does count. Interesting. I think this is my first ever signed edition of any book, of any author. So this is another option. I'm going to go through the rest of the list quickly to see what else is there, and then I'm going to make my pick. Science fiction winner is The Compound by Eileen Roll. The go-to description for this startling debut novel from author Eileen Roll is that it's Love Island meets Black Mirror. Interesting. Beautiful young people compete in a ruthless reality show as the outside world burns, but just beneath the plot you'll find sharp observations on consumer and performance culture. I don't know. Currently, I am in the middle of the Red Rising series. I have completed Red Rising, Golden Sun and Morning Star. Loving it. So I don't feel like I want to pick up another sci-fi book before completing this series, because sci-fi for me is anyway a little bit more complicated in terms of terminology and the world building. So I don't want to confuse two worlds, and my brain is very capable of doing that. So I don't think we're going to pick up this one. Let's see the horror winner. It's Witchcraft for Waynard Girls. No, I don't want to pick this up also. Reader's favorite debut novel, Alchemized. Okay, I've read this too. Favorite audiobook Onyx Storm. Young adult and sci-fi, Sunrise on the Reaping. I can't pick that one up because I have not read the series. I have not read Hunger Games yet. That's sad. I would have picked this book. Young adult fiction, Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. That is something I am definitely interested in. Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. This latest love story from YA and romance specialist Lynn Painter finds childhood friends reuniting as teenagers in their hockey-loving Minnesota hometown. It turns out that teenage relationships are a bit more complicated. This is Painter's first win after several previous nominations in both the YA fiction and adult romance categories. I can read this book because it is also on my TBR, but I don't really have a physical copy of this book. I will have to download it on my Kindle. Okay, so I think currently my options are between three books. We have to pick between Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and I'm going to put Fake Skating by Lynn Painter into this list just because I'm in the mood for a cutesy little romance book. I think we're gonna go with Fake Skating by Lynn Painter, because as I said, I'm in the mood to read a cute romance book. So yeah, that is our pick for the third prompt of this video, which is a Goodreads Choice Award winner, and this was a good prompt. This took me ages to find. So now we have picked 3 prompts out of the 6 that I usually do, and I'm very excited to pick the 4th one. Okay, here you go. This looks like a long prompt. A little scared. A book which got / is going to be published this month. Okay, we have a lot of books this month that are going to be published or have already been published. We have In Her League by Liz Tomforde. I cannot read this one yet because I have OCD and I want to read her Windy City series previously to reading this one, so this is going to go on the back burner for now. We have Hayley Pham's debut novel called Just Friends, which I'm really excited to read. It's second chance contemporary romance, and as I said, I've been loving second chance recently, very weirdly, because I'm not a big fan of that trope, and it is a standalone, so that's great. We have Hollow by Emil Burns, which is also another great pick because I'm currently reading Heavy by Emil Burns and I am eating it up. I think I started it last night and I'm already like 50% done with that book. It is so good. It is so engaging, it is so captivating. I did not want to put that book down, which is unfortunate for my sleep schedule because I really need sleep, and this book just didn't let me put the book down and go to bed. Story of my life. So Hollow is like a dark taboo romance. I've been loving reading romances recently, and it's book 2 in the Neighbors of the Sapphire Valley, and I'm very intrigued to pick this up. We also have The Wings That Bind, which is the 3rd book in the Bloodwing Academy series. This is the Dark Academia Romantasy. Again, I have not, this is coming out on the 10th. I've not read the first 2 books yet, but I really want to finish them off before the 3rd book comes out. So my goal is to finish those 2 and then pick this up. I know, I'm very ambitious. Then on the 17th, we have another book, anticipated release of mine, called Inamorata by Ava Reed. This is a gothic, grimdark adult fantasy, and it's book 1 in the House of Thieves duology. This book looks so good. I really want to pick this one up too. Then we have Hunt the Villain by Rena Kent, of course. This is again book 2 in the Villain series. I have not read the book. I have not read book 1 yet, but I plan to read it soon. This is a dark Mafia college romance. Okay, this month we also have Starside releasing, which is an adult romantasy by Alex Astor. Again, it's a standalone. I think this is her first romantasy novel. We have Cinder Vale, which is book 3 in the Sins of the Zodiac series, spin-off of Zodiac Academy, a dark romantasy. And we have we also have Game On by Navessa. Okay, there are a lot of books coming out this month. We have Game On by Navessa Allen. This is book 3 in Into the Darkness series, a dark romantic comedy. We have Fake Shot by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, by C. Ritchie, a hockey college romance, book 5 in the Leighton U series. We have a lot of choices to make for this prompt, and I'm really confused as to what to pick up. Since I am currently reading heavy, and I know 100% like a given fact that I will be finishing it off very soon, I think I'm gonna go with Hollow by M.L. Burns, because I know I would want to pick it up ASAP. So that's gonna be my pick for this prompt, a book which is going to be published or got published this month. That was very quick, and I swear that was the greatest prompt I could have picked to help me quickly read and cross out books off my TBR. But now coming to the next prompt, this is the 5th prompt that we're going to be picking. Here. It says a book you got for free. Excuse me. Do Kindle Unlimited books count? Because technically I got them for free, right? Or I guess I could just pick a book which has been gifted to me. I think I know what book to pick. This was previously a part of my TBR last year, but unfortunately I couldn't read it. But I think it's time that I pick this up and get into the universe, get into the madness, because so many people have loved this entire series and in the entire universe. And the book is none other than City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. So City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and this is my sister's copy, so technically I didn't buy it, and I technically got it for free because she has given this book to me. And yes, I have been meaning to read this for so long, and I think this is what I'm going to be picking for this prompt. So the series that swept the globe, literally, like everyone loves this universe, everyone talks about these books. They do pick them up when they're younger though, so I don't know how I will like it. Love, Blood, Betrayal. Clary Frey is seeing things, vampires in Brooklyn and werewolves in Manhattan. Irresistibly drawn to the Shadowhunters, a secret cadre of warriors dedicated to ridding the world of demons, Clary encounters the dark side of New York City and the dangers of forbidden love. Okay, my mood, my heart is saying that we're going to pick this book up, so we're going to pick this book up, and this is going to be our pick for the 4th prompt, which is a book you got for free. This brings us to our last and final prompt for this video, unfortunately, and let me shake the jar a little bit. I'm very excited to see what we'll be picking up. I hope it's a good one. It says a book from your favorite genre. Okay, I don't think I could have picked a better prompt at this time, because I think this will help with my slump a lot. As I said before, picking up heavy, 5 days I couldn't get through that thriller book only. So so I think what I need so I think what I need right now is something that I love and enjoy to read, and that is gonna be my genre, and that is gonna be either romantasy or dark romance. But I think I see my option very clearly right here. Okay, so the first option for this prompt is God of Fury by Rina Kent. As you know, I've been reading the Legacy of the Gods series, and I think it's been about a month or two since I picked up the next book, and I think it's a good time to pick this up. This is called God of Fury by Rina Kent, and I think this is one of the most favorite books of the series that people usually tell me about. Like, this is what they find the best book in this series, and I think it's about Nico and Brandon. It says, I'm slowly sinking. Brandon King never thought he was attracted to men. Truthfully, he'd never been that drawn to anyone until he collided with Nikolai Sokolov, the notoriously violent mafia heir. Nikolai is fixated on Brandon, the quiet artist, golden boy, and his enemy's twin brother. They couldn't be more different, but once Nikolai crashes into Brandon's world, he refuses to let him go. Now Brandon's carefully controlled life is on the verge of unraveling. Will Nikolai's obsession destroy him or ignite something far more intense? Okay, I think this is one option for sure. Let me quickly see if I have other options. Since the third book in the Bloodwing Academy is going to be out soon, I wanted to be caught up on the first two books, and the first book of that is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. I bought these books recently, and I really want to oh, we found a bookmark. I really want to read them in time for the third book coming out. I have read the back too many times to read it again, so I'm not going to be doing that, but I think this is what I'm going to be picking. This or this? Now I'm very confused. I think I'm gonna go with On Wings of Blood, just because the third book of this is gonna come out soon, so I want to be caught up on it. I'll try to read this one too. Let's see what the month takes us. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So our pick for the sixth prompt, a book from your favorite genre, is gonna be On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. That concludes our 6 prompts for this video. I'm quickly gonna recap them for you guys. The first prompt that I picked was a book which is a hardcover, and for that I picked Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. The second prompt that we got was a book with your favorite trope, and I picked Bratva Prince by TJ McGuire. The third prompt that we have was a Goodreads Choice Award winner, and for that I picked Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. The fourth book that we have was a book which got or is going to be published this month, and for that we picked Hollow by ML Burns. The fifth prompt that we got was a book you got for free, and for that we have picked City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. And the sixth prompt was a book from your favorite genre, and that's going to be On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. So this is a very, very romantasy and dark romance heavy list, which is great because I think that is exactly what I needed this month to sort of propel me out of my reading slump which that thriller book put me in. And this is amazing because I am really, really looking forward to reading all of these. It's good to diversify your genres, I feel, but it's also good to go back to your roots and actually sometimes just read what you love to read genuinely, and this is what I love to read genuinely. So I'm hoping I'm able to get through this list this month since these are some of my favorite genres. We do have one cute romance, we have 2 dark romances, and we have 1 fantasy and 2 romantasies, which is great. So I think we're gonna have a great month. I'm also going to be trying to catch up on my January and February TBR books that I missed out on. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to read, but we will stay positive and take it as it comes since it's 5th of March today, and I haven't even finished my first book, and also it's my cousin's wedding next week, so I know things are going to get very hectic, but I'm going to try to manage my time as well as I can, and we're going to stay positive and we're going to get this done. So yes, I think that is going to be the end of this video. I always look forward to making these videos because I feel like it really sets the tone for my month, and I can feel that this month is going to be great in terms of reading books, in terms of uploading some content, in terms of I think everything. So yeah, that's all for now. I will see you guys for the next video. Bye bye.